What's the secret to never giving up on your English learning journey, even when it feels like you're not making progress?
That's a great question, and I think the answer might surprise you. It's not about being naturally talented or having a lot of free time.
So, what is it then, and how can we apply it to our daily lives to stay motivated and keep going?
Well, today we're going to explore 3 key phrases that will help you stay on track, and the most surprising part is that most learners get the third one completely wrong.
That sounds intriguing, and I'm sure our viewers are curious to know more. What are the 3 phrases, and how can they help us make progress?
We'll be discussing how to get back on track, stay motivated, and reach your goal, and I think our viewers will be surprised at how often they can apply these phrases in real-life situations.
I'm excited to dive in and learn more, and I'm sure our viewers are too. Let's start with the first phrase, get back on track, and explore how we can use it to overcome obstacles.
Exactly, and here's the thing, when you hit a wall, it's easy to feel like giving up, but using this phrase can help you regain your focus and stay motivated.
That's really helpful, and I can think of a time when I used this phrase to get back on track with my own learning. It's amazing how a simple phrase can make such a big difference.
Here's the weird part, many learners think that get back on track means starting over from scratch, but it's actually about making small adjustments to get moving again.
I see what you mean. It's not about being perfect, but about making progress and staying focused on your goal.
Exactly, and that's why it's so important to use this phrase regularly, especially when you're feeling stuck or discouraged.
That makes sense, and it's a great reminder that staying motivated is a process. It's not something you either have or you don't. It's something you can develop over time.
Absolutely, and that's why our next phrase, stay motivated, is so important. It's about finding ways to keep yourself engaged and excited about learning.
I love that, and I think it's really important to explore different strategies for staying motivated, whether it's finding a study buddy or rewarding yourself for milestones achieved.
Here's the thing, many learners think that motivation comes from external sources, but it's actually about finding internal drivers that keep you going.
That's a great point, and it's something I've learned from my own experience. When you're motivated from within, you're much more likely to stay on track and reach your goal.
Exactly, and that's why it's so important to reflect on what motivates you and use that to fuel your learning.
I'm starting to see how these phrases are all connected. Get back on track, stay motivated, and reach your goal are all part of a larger process.
That's right, and here's the weird part, many learners try to reach their goal without first getting back on track and staying motivated, and that's why they often struggle to make progress.
I see what you mean. It's like trying to build a house without laying the foundation first. It just won't work. So, how can we use these phrases in real-life situations to make progress and stay focused?
Well, let's say you're feeling stuck with your English learning. You could say to yourself, I need to get back on track, and then make a plan to adjust your study routine.
That's a great example, and I can think of a time when I used a similar strategy to stay motivated and reach my goal. It's amazing how these phrases can be applied in so many different contexts.
Here's the weird part, many learners think that keep going means pushing through exhaustion, but it's actually about finding a sustainable pace that works for you.
I see what you mean. It's not about being a marathon runner, but about being a steady jogger who can keep going for the long haul.
Exactly, and that's why it's so important to listen to your body and take breaks when you need them, rather than trying to push through and burn out.
That makes sense, and it's a great reminder that staying focused is a key part of reaching your goal. When you're focused, you're much more likely to stay on track and make progress.
Absolutely, and that's why it's so important to minimize distractions and find ways to stay engaged, whether it's through music, movement, or mindfulness.
I love that, and I think it's really important to experiment with different strategies for staying focused, whether it's the Pomodoro technique or simply taking a walk outside.
Here's the thing, many learners think that hit a wall means failing or giving up, but it's actually about encountering obstacles and finding ways to overcome them.
I see what you mean. It's not about being afraid of obstacles, but about being prepared to overcome them and keep moving forward.
Exactly, and that's why it's so important to develop a growth mindset and see challenges as opportunities for growth and learning.
I'm starting to see how all these phrases are connected. It's like a puzzle, and when you put all the pieces together, you get a complete picture of how to stay motivated and reach your goal.
That's right, and here's the weird part: many learners try to learn these phrases in isolation, without seeing how they fit into the larger picture.
I see what you mean. It's like trying to learn a language without understanding the context and culture. It just won't work. Let me summarize what we've learned so far. We've discussed how to get back on track, stay motivated, and reach your goal, and how these phrases are all connected.
That's right, and I think our viewers will be surprised at how often they can apply these phrases in real-life situations to make progress and stay focused.
So, let's put it all together in a mini story. Imagine you're feeling stuck with your English learning, but then you say to yourself, I need to get back on track and make a plan to adjust your study routine.
Exactly, and then you start to feel more motivated and focused, and you realize that you're making progress and staying on track.
That's a great example, and I think it illustrates how these phrases can be used in real-life situations to overcome obstacles and reach your goal.
Absolutely, and that's why it's so important to practice using these phrases and to make them a part of your daily routine.
Today's challenge is to use one of these phrases in a sentence and share it with us in the comments. Can you do that for us?
And if you enjoyed this conversation, be sure to subscribe for daily English practice and stay tuned for more topics and challenges.
Tomorrow, we'll be discussing the secret to mastering English pronunciation. Don't miss it.